Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Blaze's Patch Note Breakdowns. Today we're going to be discussing the 9.10 bonus update notes. They are not very long from what I've heard, but that's okay. I have a few questions leading into our patch notes breakdown. How did you enjoy the last one? Was that format better for you all? For the thumbnails, should I just put my face over the god? What fun things are you looking for out of these? And what other content would you like to see from me, just to promote some other content that is happening on YouTube? Is we're doing the A to Z ADC challenge for season 9. You can catch those over on my live stream, but I'm uploading all those over to YouTube as well. And I will be uploading all the casts as I normally do. If you're interested in getting your games casted or you're looking for some coaching advice, feel free to reach out and let me know. But let's hop into the bonus update notes. First and foremost, we're getting Chibi Thor. And Thor has been absolutely dominating a lot of Smite right now, just after the buff to giving his wall some damage. Really has just made him better. He feels better. I think they could have made the damage at 1, and it would have still felt good to know you could proc item abilities on that. Overall, just feels really, really good. We're going to be getting that rumbly Chibi Thor in the Chibi Bonsai chest. We also have a new Kali skin coming out. I like the card art for it. I do have to say, not a huge fan of Kali. I would like to not see her in my games. But I'm happy she is getting a new skin. And we do have the Primordial Paragon Guan Yu that's also part of the Odyssey event with the Kali. And this is like the Nubis skin we got for Odyssey, that's in the Odyssey chest now. I believe it was in Odyssey last year. I think it's going to look really good. The card art looks sick. And then Guan Yu, another champion that's just absolutely strong right now. A few bug fixes, mostly here just for Maui. They fixed an issue that can cause him to fall through the map after certain circumstances using solar swing ability, and they fixed an issue where he becomes pulled in another direction during pre-fire of his solar swing. First and foremost, as far as balance changes go, Fabulous Hoops decreased shield size from passive from 7.5% to 6% of the target's max health. I think this is a good change. We've seen this picked up in a variety of play. I was casting last night. We've seen it. If you played in comp, you've seen it. If you watched SPL, SEC, you've seen it. It's just a very dominant item for healers. So I think that is a good change. Amusin Cobb decreased the physical prot reduction of his stinger from 20 to 10%. Thank God. AMC has been absolutely wreaking havoc in all parts of the game for really over a year now in a lot of ways. He was 100% pick and ban rate over this past week of SPL. Just a very, very strong ADC right now. Unfortunately, it looks like my boy Cupid is also going to get hit with something. He is going to get a Fields of Love decrease slow from 35% to 30% on the targets in the area. I think this is actually a really good change for his ultimate. It's going to make it feel better if you're playing into it. Overall, I don't think this makes Cupid fall out of the meta. I think Amusin Cobb does take a direct hit from, stinger reduction prot shred. But Cupid, I'm like, that's not too huge of a deal. I don't know how much you feel that when you're playing Cupid. We'll have to see on Tuesday when this releases. But overall, I think it's a good change and kind of like a small tweak to see, does it help, does it not, or do they need to tweak something else? And, we'll see how that goes. Thor already getting changed. They're decreasing physical power scaling from 40 to 30% on Tectonic Rift. And honestly, I think this needed to happen. As soon as that change came through, he's absolutely just popped off. They said they were, wanting to see what happens. And now they're taking those concerns seriously. They've studied it in the wild now. And now they're looking to balance everything out so he doesn't feel oppressive. All of that is good changes. Daji is getting hit quite a bit here just because, again, this is a huge SPL pick. I love this pick. She feels really good to play. I've played into her and she just pops off. Trickster Spirit is getting decreased physical power scaling from 85 to 80%, and Powwow gets an increased cooldown from 110 to 120 seconds. That's a pretty substantial nerf on both fronts here. The 5% physical power scaling probably not huge, but it's a good tweak. Powwow getting a 10-second increased cooldown is going to be felt. Honestly, Daji is super strong. I don't know if this takes her out of like top 10 junglers, but this definitely might remove her from the top 5 of viability. Like, you probably want to go with something else. we'll have to see. A lot of people do build a good amount of cooldown. So, like, you get Jotuns, and if you get a Transcendence, like, you already have a ton of cooldown. So, I don't know, that 10 seconds might not be so much felt later on in the game, but you're definitely going to feel it early. It's going to change the way our early game plays. So, we'll see how that affects Daji. Vulcan already getting hit with an increased cooldown on Inferno Cannon. Obviously, his best clear ability. No, I mean, this is a good change. We've seen Vulcan on the rise, but he hasn't become insane. A lot of people he got a lot of play after the backfire change, and then he's kind of fallen back off. We've seen him picked up in the SPL a good bit, but I think Inferno Cannon getting a little bit of a nerf and kind of tweaking his lane clear, in the sense of he can just like throw that down and get free clear while he walks over to a camp, and so forth. So I think this is a good change. Obviously, this was not a long patch notes. It was very short, very few changes here. But I do think some of these changes are going to be felt. I think we're going to feel the AMC change. I think we're going to feel the Daji change. The rest of these are nice little tweaks. But those two are probably the most curious I feel about. I want to know what is going to change in their play. I really do think Daji's early game gets hampered here. But I am curious to see, does a Muzen Cobb fall off? And that's it. That was all the patch note stuff. Pretty easy this time around. We'll be back again in a couple weeks with the 9.11 update. But again, make sure if you want to check out other content I'm putting out, you can go to the Linktree link below. You can find my Twitch. You can find information for Guardian's mental health, dare drops. You can find, the other videos on YouTube that are getting posted for the A to Z challenge that I'm doing in ADC, the cast I'm putting out, and we have some other content coming that way as well. Hope you guys have a great one. And as always, if you have any feedback, let me know. Take it easy. Bye.